Hello and welcome to the Epic Marketing Show. Today we're going to be talking about behavioral marketing automation, what that is and why it's important for your business. I hope you've got a nice cup of tea. I've got a great cup of really yummy hibiscus tea today, so go grab a cuppa and let's get started. So jumping straight into behavioral marketing automation, what is it? Well, it's really a combination of biopsychology and marketing automation. And because of this, it's called behavioral marketing because it's really adapting and looking at the behavior of your customers and automating specifically for types of behavior. We call this approach epic marketing because it's a much cooler term and it's much more memorable and not as chunky. So what you're really looking at when you're doing behavioral marketing is you're looking to understand the why behind what your customers do. So why do they do what they do? And you're also looking to automate for specific outcomes. So specific things like desires, intents, motivations, that kind of thing. You're really tapping into the psychology there. You're also taking past and present behavior and using it as a predictor for future behavior. So although that sounds like really in-depth and kind of quite scientific, a lot of the marketing automation systems already do this, and this is lead scoring. It's basically looking at what your customers are currently doing, what they've clicked on, what they're engaging with right now, and then telling you whether or not your leads are very good, whether they're hot leads, whether they're poor leads, and you kind of score them based on their engagement. That's what we talk about as past and present predictors. Now, most companies stop there. So they kind of go, you've got your past behavior, you've got your present behavior, and we predict that that's what your future behavior is. That, however, is not what we call intelligent behavioral marketing automation, because intelligent behavioral marketing automation is all about designing outcomes for specific behaviors in terms of we don't just want people to engage. We don't just want people to click through to your emails, and we don't just want people to read your blog posts. We want to be very directed with what we do with that behavior. We want to send people to specific places, and we want to help people reach their goals and their purchase points a lot faster. And that's what we call intelligent behavioral marketing automation. What behavioral marketing automation is not is just a way to sell. Okay, you're not basically using intent or interest just as an excuse to sell to people. That is not behavioral marketing automation. So we're not saying just because someone clicks through to a bunch of emails or someone clicks through to landing pages that this is a really good option to sell to them, because we will know based on their past behavior and what they're currently engaging with exactly what we can do and where in their customer journey they are. Behavioral marketing is all about understanding the customer journey and sending them in the appropriate direction based on how they're currently engaging. So you're not just using their interest as an excuse to sell to them. You're actually automating to send them what they want and what they need automatically. That's the marketing automation. And the intelligence comes in from understanding the behavior that you want to create and the behaviors that you want to cultivate and focusing and directing that. So let's talk about how you can use behavioral marketing automation, or epic marketing as we like to call it, in your business. There are 3 component parts to it, and I'd like to just take you through exactly what those component parts are so you can start using it today. All right, so first and foremost, you need to understand your customer. So this little dude here, you need to be really clear on your customer. So number 1 is understanding. So that is in a few different ways. You need to understand who they are. You need to understand what they're interested in. You need to be really, really clear on why they're interested in what they're interested in. And then you can start understanding how your products and offers are going to relate to them. So it's not just about someone is looking for instance, a whisk. They're not just looking for a whisk. They're looking for it for a specific purpose. So they're looking for a whisk because they want to make the best cakes. So if you're going to position your product, which is a whisk, over the products of someone else, you want to be having something that stands out. So you want to be able to say, this is the best whisk for cake makers. And so you're kind of not only niching yourself out, but you know that all those people that spend a lot of money on specific tools that are the best tools for the job are going to have a very specific interest. They're all cake makers. So your understanding of your customer is that they're interested in making the best cakes possible because that's vital to their business. And so you're going to make sure that your product really aligns with who they are and what they're interested in. Yeah. Secondly, you need to be really clear on the customer journey. And the customer journey is all about understanding exactly the path that they're going to go down and how you can help with that customer journey. So you know that when they sign up for something, they're going to go from this point. You need to give them a certain subset of information to get them interested in what you're selling. And once you've got that information, you can start kind of selling to them and then doing the upsells and the rest of the process. We have a great video on lifecycle marketing, and lifecycle marketing is all about the customer journey. So make sure you go and check that out. I'll leave the link below in the description. So once you're really clear on the customer journey, the third thing that you need to have is capable tech. Because you can't do behavioral marketing automation if you don't have a system that's going to allow you to track behavior and trigger things based on behavior. There are lots of different pieces of software out there that are getting really awesome at this, because this is becoming the way to market, because this is what consumers like. Consumers like being treated really, really well, and behavioral marketing is kind of leading the charge in that process. So your capable tech needs to look like either a good marketing automation system, or you need to be really, really clear on the different systems that you're going to be using. We specifically use Infusionsoft because of its behavioral functionality and the fact that we can behaviorally trigger things, and we can also track behavior over long periods of time. But whatever you end up using, make sure it's capable of tracking the information that you need in order to craft your behavioral messaging. So once you have understanding on who that person is and exactly why they do what they do and what makes them tick, you then need to think about the customer journey and making sure your customer journey is crafted so that it takes behavior into account. Once that's done, you need to make sure you have capable tech that is going to allow you to track these things. And that capable tech should allow you to continually get deeper understanding of who your target customer is. So these three component parts, understanding who they are, having a good customer journey crafted for their entire life cycle, and then also having capable technology that's going to track the behavior. This is a cyclic process. So the more understanding you get, the better your customer journey can be. And your technology should continually be allowing you to follow the full process of that customer journey, but then also garner more understanding on who that person is. And that is how you use behavioral marketing automation in your business. The really cool thing about this is that when you follow this process, you get what we call an enlightened consumer. And an enlightened consumer is somebody who knows everything about what you do. They know exactly why they are your customer. They know exactly why they've bought the products, and they're so clued on that they become incredibly fiercely loyal because they know that you are the best at what you do. Because you're continually feeding information to them and kind of creating this real relationship with them, that enlightenment tends to get people going over and telling their friends and family about how awesome you are. And so when somebody knows a secret, or when they know something that's really, really good, they can't but help tell someone else about it. And that's what we want in business. We want enlightened consumers who are going to spread word of mouth, because it is one of the most powerful ways of advertising. So that's it for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe below. Until next time, go forth and be epic.